There we have it. 2 dead legionnaires.
They deserved it, the cretins.
I'm not so sure anymore.
Look! A wanderer comes my way. Walking this call me Ishmael, son of the sea, an outcast upon these wretched shores. An exiled shell. Of course I can talk. Don't be silly. There's more tongue to me than heart. Indeed, the surprise should be mine, for I still remember the days when your kind swung from branches and plucked the vermin. Time is an indulgent mistress. To one who spends happy hours. Oh, I remember ancient times, for I have lain here since empty. All this I have seen. My fate is a cruel one, I assure you. How many snot-noses have held me up against their dirty little ears, only to claim they can hear the ocean? Of course they could hear her, the brats. We are on the very edge of the great aquatic mother, whose embrace I so desperately long for. Yes, yes, I, King of Pearls, ache to repose anew on his coral throne. Hurl me toward the water. What do you say, kind knight? will you return the King of Pearls to the sea?
Kindness is its own reward, and then there's the promise of treasure to boot.
Agreed.
Liberator, kind. The sea, I have returned. Where every wave feels like a perfect kiss. May the bounty of the deep be yours, along with my eternal gratitude.
feel the pain of my sting! This is the end! For you!
I need another chance.
Did you see that? Those orcs had a human commander.
Who was that joker leading
How
those
very
orcs?
curious.
Damn traitor.
And how
Where are
very
Bibius and
disquiet.
Junius? Didn't they hear the fight?
Taken before his time, far before his time.
I like you much better with your guts on the floor.
I like you much better with your guts on the floor.
Filthy beasts! I'll kill the last one of you!
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last... Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm up. So you were, and so you weren't. There we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, it's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission. So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has she seems a likely candidate to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't... Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find a human, you say? Truly? But that... And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts. A shadowy set of worshippers. I don't quite know what to make of this news. But thank you for informing me. It'd be... the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The Orc siege is yet another hairball. We've cordoned off the western beach where most Orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves. Oh, but that's not a trick. Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm, to be out in the night, to stalk. But of course, it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumb. I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And I'm certain we have a lot more to... Once you're there, just take the stairs. But do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very... And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and...
Sects, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Arthur mentioned?
Vengeance will be ours. We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbor.
We need more help, or she's lost!
What if the Orcs are sending another fleet?
We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her.
Sauce? Here? In Sicil? Bah! Of all the cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one. Who knows if it's even over for sure?
Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh winds of Sicil? Sailor, what news from the mainland?
Oh, nothing new, sir. Zombies, skeletons, you know the story. Sauce? Here? Inside Seal? Bah! Of all the cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one. Who kn-
Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh winds of Sicile? Name's Conrad. Cargo trader, sea captain, an expert in all things nautical. Folks across Andervale know to give old Conrad a holler when it comes to rare imports and magical items. Those orcs must be out of their barbarous minds launching an attack. I'll tell you, the only time I'd consider waging a...
Save her?
We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her! We need more help or she's lost!
We need more help, or she's lost.
The ship's blaze never higher! What if the orcs are sending another fleet? We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbour! What if the orcs are sending another fleet?
What if the orcs are sending another fleet?
What if the orcs are sending another fleet? We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her. We need more help or she's lost.
We need more help or she's lost.
Blasted orcs have learned how to play with fire.
Blasted orcs learn how to play with fire.
We need more help or she's lost. What if the orcs are sending another fleet?
We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her.
The ship's blazing even higher.
Come on, mate. Put your back into it. Blasted orcs have learned how to play with fire.
Come on, Ben. Put your backs into it.
We need more help or she's lost.
Come on, Ben.
Here, fancy a sip, Skipper? You deserve a drink after endless...
Keep your pleasantries to yourself. What are you doing? If it's conversation you're looking for, I'd recommend my comrade Florius. Or as for myself, my job is to protect this. That idiot man-child would sooner spend an hour chatting up a thief than a minute arresting him. I only hope he gets transferred out of this warehouse and... even think...
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius. Curtius is my name. The Legion is my calling. This is a storing house for Legion supplies. Perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others. Just to turn of phrase.
Well, a source hunter. A very hearty welcome to our humble warehouse. Have a look around. And don't mind if I pick your brain about the scoop around Undervale. I tell you, this gig sure beats getting my toes bitten off by zombies out in the field. We warehouse, and of course, every now and again, some friendly folks, like yourself, will wander through here. And nothing beats a pleasant conversation, though my comrade Horatius has quite different opinions on that matter. Have you talked to him? Thinks every man, woman, and child who steps foot in this place wants to rob it blind. If I so much as greet a townsperson with a, "This Jake business is quite the scandal, no?" Then again, and you didn't hear this from me, he's going through quite the nasty divorce himself, and there's his children to consider. But I imagine his youngest, Kimberly, won't mind. Never did get on well with her. Oh, it's an unparalleled... That fusspot said what? Well... So, something you'd like to say to my face?
I haven't a thing to say to you. I'm on duty.
Duty, indeed. Put up your fists.
Are you mad? We're guards, not drunks on the street.
Enough! Both of you! What is this barbarism? Back to your post at once!
Sir, this is an important matter. A matter of honor.
Such matters are to be settled on your own time. Understood?
Understood, sir.
Such bickering is all that thieves need to sneak by unnoticed.
Won't happen again, sir.
It better damn well not. Desist, prowler. None shall pass through this door, for with my very...
Well, a source hunter. About time the council took us seriously. Maybe you can start with the two idiots hiding their...
Out of a back-page circular from Youthful Gore. Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a...
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed.
Maybe before the Great Orc Raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions. But...
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed a woman's touch in quite...
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw-shanked brute.
My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish... Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately, a vial of love potion shattered. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of...
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but...
Ah, I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed period, I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only.
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on...
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement?
You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. She's got to be put down. If this love potion is as dodgy as it sounds, she could come to her vicious senses at any time.
What's the point in causing more pain in this beleaguered city? Question her and see what comes of it.
You must realize that if this orc gets loose in the city, we're the ones who'll have to put her down and deal with the bloody aftermath.
Think of the intel this creature could provide. And if she begins to revert, these men are armed and will be able to subdue her.
No, we'll do as I...
Glad to hear I'm not the only...
No! You bastard! You had no right!
No right to protect not only you from your own stupidity, but myself and the citizens of Seal as well.
It's you we need protection from, murderer. Fortunately, the wizards of Youthful Gore make a revenge elixir that will show you what's what.
Go ahead and throw your sugar water on me if you like. Your foolishness is no longer my problem.
One day you'll show
Thank
'em
you,
all.
stranger. If you ever need help, I'll do my best to repay you.
Fancy a sip, skipper? Nothing worse than being stuck on land. The floor's just too damn steady.
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
I should have done this from the very start.
We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbour.
We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbour. Are these the biggest buckets we've got?
What if the orcs are sending another fleet? We need more help, or she's lost.
The ship's blazing even higher. Yes, sir. As fine a specimen as one of the orcs sending another fleet.
We need more help, or she's lost.
Are these the biggest buckets we've got?
God sweep upon the earth.
We need
All the way to my boots.
I don't know how you did that, hocus pocus, but boy, am I grateful. I thought the old gal's fate was sealed when the orc shake.
A home, a livelihood, all some... Well, we were merchants what seems like a moment ago. These damn orcs. They can't keep off this place for the... With our ship gone, nothing for it but to get a job. That was a right stunning show of magic you pulled, it was.
Have you found us a job yet? Well, we were merchants, what seems like these bleeding orcs. I can't, well, you never know. That was a right stunning show of magic.
Have you found us a job? Well, these well, you never know. That was a...
Have you found, well, the... That...
Passing a love note to the Lizard Council's boy.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthul anymore?
Sauce? Here, a ship's got a... Who knows?
Sauce? Here in Seal. A ship's got a soul too, you know. You did a mite. Who knows if it's even over?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it all win 500 yards, my lovely nature.
I said to him, I said myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece an hour, I'll wash out.
May I be valiant as the Lion of Summer.
Halt!
Well, I'll be a little red imp's uncle, the Source Hunter. You can see security's tighter than ever around here since that surprise attack the orcs put on a fortnight. We can only hope to hold back the undead and these left-field orc attacks long enough for reinforcement. I don't think you're quite ready to head out into the wilds to me. Also, a party of 1 or 2 runs the risk of being outflanked and outnumbered. Thank you for heeding my word.
That orc would have literally broken Ninius's heart. I should have done this from the very start.
You there!
I'm stuck fast. Fate is an ice-cold mistress.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rock.
Sigh, seal, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
Are these the biggest buckies we've got?
Come on, men, put your backs in. Blasted orcs have learned how to play with fire.
I need to dry off.
Oh, hail the... I thought...
Oh, ho, where we've had.
That loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orpy charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it all win 500 yards of my lucky taker.
Curse them rotten green.
A moment of your indulgence, if you please. No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is Mendius at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be. And that is, oh, it's not merely an opportunity.
Of course I do. How could someone in my profession not?
Quite right.
See here. You and I share the same pattern. Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense.
Riches do not interest.
Really?
Well, don't quite. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice?
It's better to lead than to follow. That much is true.
Better to be...
Well spoken. Well said And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab. So that I... Ah, the fabulous 5. How I enjoy simply saying the words that you'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. And you can. What a gem of a question. Now then, to join the Fabulous 5 is to join a fellowship. Of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel, by now the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your... Work hard. Fulfill contract. They call the undead a problem, my friend, but those who know the ways of the fabulous...
Hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly? Oh, back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North after... Medora's the name. Retired, or so the order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at your side. Heavens hornets! That's quite... See, I'm here on... Well, let's call it a long... There's been an attack there, comrade. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say. But it's my responsibility to send them packing. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicil. They don't have a spare soul by the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. Well, comrade, I need a contingent I can trust. If I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Counselor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work of the perpetrator. More than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what in tarnation's gotten into the townsfolk here, but there's enough dark magic running roughshod to top. There's Mayor Cecil's doings for one, and on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every hearth and shadow. Now don't get me wrong, I think the mayor's... But from what I've heard whispered around the docks, the old guys... I suspect an illegal sauce, artifact, or substance is at the root of it, but exactly what... Fella seems like a humble doctor. But I bet my sword he's dealing in something darker and splints and tonics. A loose-lipped fishmonger let slip that she'd seen our good doctor scale the city wall. Hardly the habit of an innocent healer, I'd say. You mean you don't already know, comrade? Their kind can see in the... Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion.
We can't in good conscience take on a task so far.
We wish you luck.
By the demon's tomb, I never thought I'd... Well, you're lucky we Northies have a certain expression.
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information. I am the Duke of Ferrell. Though it's very tragic news. I won't posture and say...
Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice. What have we here? A source hunter, tall as an elf, strong as an orc. But your face, and my word, what passion burns from your eyes. I am Anna. I've cut 1,000 throats and baked 1,000 bread rolls, stolen the crown jewels of the Queen of Iraq. When the day comes that I die, the gods will evacuate the heavens to make space for my... I contain multitudes, you see. But then, Source Hunter, you, that I have. For nearly a lifetime, I believe I have found that component, that body, that spirit. Yes, you must join the Fabulous Five right away, as soon... Yes, I am part of... You must speak with Mendius. He stands right...
Sorry, I've run out of signed handkerchiefs. An Alistair keyring, maybe. In any case, what do you mean, not familiar? Why, I'm only the most famous wizard this side of the Distis. Although, and don't forget, I'm the most eminent member of the Fabulous Five to boot. Surely you already know we've been voted the most influential adventurers guild by some... Your interest is piqued, I see. A word of warning, though, we only accept the best. Those nasty beasts are hardly...
Come now, Alistair.
Hearty welcome to the King Crab Inn, and a pleasure to have you. You look like you could use... The name's Ivad. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I've been offering the week. All you see before you is the manifestation of my great-grandpappy Horatius Dunk. Well, between you and me, things have been rather slow since the... Mind if we keep our voices down over that sensitive subject? Death and dark magic ain't exactly great. That room where it happened, it was rented to a certain woman. Though I regret to say I can't say exactly who. This inn isn't in the bit. She came heavily cloaked, but paid the full sum in advance. I saw one other figure go into the room that night. Someone tall, built broad like a man, but shrouded. I was startled awake by a horrendous hubbub shortly after midnight. I jumped up and grabbed me grandpappy's machete. By the time I burst into that room, it was horribly silent. There was only... Whoever done it has escaped through the window. But I saw nary a soul when I looked out. You can bet I hightailed it to the Legion back. Councillor Jake, that poor man. I knew too much about his... Esmeralda's longest-standing lover has the audacity to remain lodged at this very inn, you know? He's called the Duke of Ferrol, a high title for a low man. If you haven't yet asked him about Esmeralda, I'd recommend it. 3 hopeless sailors.
Alistair,
Pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How curious of you to show interest in a lonesome stranger at the bar. Let me answer by saying that can I tell you? I suppose I can.
secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend.
Greetings, traveller. And may the Immaculate Conduit's what's in a name, dear friend? For we all begin equal in the Conduit's eye. You mean you haven't heard? Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever trapped by following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way we can each of us. She came from on high to we. She showed us that injury and malady need not mark the... For this hallowed information, you must seek an there, among her, go on the path to the righteous, my...
Greetings, Source Hunter.
Never thought I'd see Sicey.
Greetings, greetings. Oh, you are most welcome in my chamber. Custom that I am. I have spent more of my life on the road. You wouldn't believe some of the things I have seen. Oh yes, a city. Oh, but let us not discuss. Let us browse and barter.
Back on my feet again.
Praise be that Ahu the wizard built.
Fastened tighter than the treasury.
Whatever happened to that team of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining
my
your
good
pockets.
man. Drink, if you please.
Please do keep shouting.
A source hunter? I'd like to report some dark magic. I've been at the King Crab nearly 10 years now, personally. Seen every... I think I'm one of the last folks to hear him alive. That awful scream's been ringing in my ears ever since. Though that's the question, isn't it? What exactly did happen? We all thought it was Esmeralda who checked into that. I was washing up and nudging the last of the lushes out of the door when a cloaked woman rushed in right past me. Lucky for the perpetrators, I was rinsing bottles in the back when the terrible deed took place and saw nothing more. I'm not proud to say I ducked.
The likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend.
Ah, hello. I suppose you're... Yes, she and I have a history. As easy as it would be to pin suspicions on Esmeralda or Jake and Esmeralda had no great affection for each other. He had his interests, she had hers, and there was little passion left between them. Certainly not enough to fuel a murder.
Alistair, surely you've met your match once or twice.
It's very tragic news. I am the Duke.
Oh, careful now. Your head's growing more swollen than saffrons, I dare say.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
I'll thank you to leave me be.
Cheese? That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman bear.
Oh, hello, love.
Well, what sort of arrows do...
Oh, hello, love. Nice day for a little stroll around the market, isn't it?
Not in the mood for cheese.
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I,
Borrow, indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repay.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear. Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough. I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft. So what do you think?
This batch is only ours.
That merchant has to eat too, you know.
Yes, you know.
I suppose. A hungry man, you know.
That thief is free for now. But I wonder how long it'll be until... Thank you for making that would-be thief see reason.
Shut tight.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
Possibilities. But
If one were to reduce the quantity of...
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bad... no matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heart... Me? Why, it was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her... Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Yes. If she's in the other room as we speak, perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demo. She's gotten hold of a stone. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted... Well, she certainly possesses a critical... I expect you'll be a very successful healer. Sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of medicine. Unless... Certainly, what would you like to know? The counselor. Terrible loss, that. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife... I've applied myself to that problem for... I declare it an act of the Almighty's.
Healing stone. Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic. Anybody? Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence? Excuse me? This is a private... I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing. But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation. But what would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him. Quite the venerable staple of Seal, Stephen, and recently blessed with his third grandchild. Nearly everyone in Seal is familiar with grinning. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but it's strange. The stone is only good for a sink. Don't dither long.
That tone, soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far.
What a relief to... What do you think? What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader quite the venerable staple of Seal, Stephen, and recently blessed with it. Nearly everyone in... You are?
For this word. What's taken Tenderfoot so long?
Stephen should receive the stone.
Yes. Let's return her. Stephen, it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm... No, this is highly abnormal.
Thank you.
What is this? This lightning.
I don't know what I did.
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible, by the quill that lasts a billion words. What's this? Two Rivalonians. Oh, yes. Proper introductions. Zigzags the historian at your service. It is as for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the... How you, on such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and... at last a question I can answer most definitively. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think... Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through your...
Might be quite mad.
Then we'd better appease him and have a look through the looking lens.
You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal! It's the portal! It's quite sprung. You, dear stranger, those torches, a light! This portal, goodness me, how right you are! It is the void itself! I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's not that I believe, it's that I then, no longer than a few mere moments after you though I cannot say for... In fact, every last question that... But why spoil the mystery? After you... Yeah, you first, but don't dilly-dally.
And he's off.
It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
I am the last chest. The last chest. The last chest! If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample...
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable!
You have brought guests.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that it...
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon... If any other being in Rivellon asked me about the details of their comings and goings, but you are different. So please, do tell me, how did you arrive here? A stone. So, it was a stone that caught... Not like this, no. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not, but yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not...
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say. But I do. Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature. Do you see what violence my work has suffered?
Mysteries of all time.
It would appear that Starstone
I see. What the void...
Yes. Though I cannot explain why. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all. Indeed you must. Though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers.
Why, of course! That's what they were doing. I have recorded that.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no river.
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop. These, our most mysterious guest.
Not but a moment ago, we were hunting Source in Rivellon, and now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem.
No matter how
Come, come! I've got something for you if you're up to the challenge. So, what do you think, Source Hunter?
How welcome you are upon this in the ethereal threads of it, the drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of except, it seems, you ask and I shall answer. If I am the weaver of time, as I have told you, though I am but what I am, and that is task. Perhaps we are one and the same. Task multiplied by am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I am the first thing in creation. But alas, the answers to those questions. A hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. I believe that starstones will not lead you to new places of wonder only. No. Oh, Hunter. I have no need for company. Like I have no need for air or... And yet... I do enjoy your companionship. For quite so. Your absence. It should be an impossibility, but I do not know you, which makes... But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time, what it is but a seed bereft of sun. I reside in another realm altogether. But ever since the end of time appeared in these deep, dark skies, I materialized here, as if forced to watch. I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you know that no longer I did weave. I sat here, at the end of time, but suddenly there was you. You who stirred. New threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. These starstones. Please. How might I serve our mission? Ask, and I shall answer, if I can.
The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest no. With you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in. Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some...
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void. I honestly do...
Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot, wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sight, just like yourselves. Starstone, from what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerer ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you... Neither do I. But the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the Weaver of Time, this in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you. We may not understand the how yet, but our aim... Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but Having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Oh, but of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is mine, so gather those star stones so that we may know the history that was lost. No lonesome observing the frontier of creation, surfing the vibrant tide of the eon. Well, yes, actually, perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the... Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. I hope you'll be able to help...
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. And I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are... It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder, that means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, the advantage of being a cat, you know. You go, that's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there. Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly... But perhaps I speak like any cat worth its salt, though I deeply cherish a secret. Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is... If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined. I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthful Gore. He wandered a lot, so I told him who I was and showed him my... In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. So before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but... Alas, now that this matter has been settled, Hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do...
Legs and run away?
Return and humble. You like... Of course. Oh.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Join a guild, better the world, earn a lot of gold.
And me.
Marvelous. Magnificent. Oh, but what am I saying? Fab, you found new recruits already? Efficient. Proactive. Oh, I like that. So, it's a pretty straightforward task, this one. Now, in this town dwells a wizard. Ahu is his name, and one of them was a big lumbering apparatus. A frightful automaton shaped like... But you can guess what happened. Did it become sentient? Was it cursed? Luckily, there are those in this world who belong to the Fabulous Five. The braves who eat such monsters.
What are ye staring at? Some poor chaps lost their ship and want some work. Just send him to me. Captain Jack's the name. Though the title may be a... Those scallywags are...
On the move for cheese. An excuse is more hose than a slice of this fine Norman there. Feed a big cheese on your front for the wheel of the good stuff. Yawn, son.
Ah, hello, proportionate one. I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft.
I know it's here somewhere. I don't want to ruin
Thank
this.
you. Thank you eternally. That strange reaction you caused. Blue lightning from a healing stone. I've never seen anything like it. And the stone looks different now. I've been studying under Theliron for some... I've a passion for this work, you see.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Another family restored, thanks to the healing arts? I'm glad to hear that Stephen will be returning to the comfort. Sorry, but there isn't much work. Certainly, what would you like to know?
We'll have none of that, you hear?
Grave responsibilities.
That doesn't belong to us, you know.
You're right, it doesn't. Sometimes I get...
Happens to the best.
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba...
What's that nutter on the back?
Don't ask me what the...
Had a great thirst...
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on, right? Oh, I'm nothing but your average man taking in the best show. Well, I've stumbled into quite the fine gig. I just let my appreciation for Reggie's work be...
Greatest illusion in Andervale! You there! Take a seat! Prepare to laugh your head off! Cry your... I am Reginald the Illusionist! Are you impressed by my prowess in the arts of entertainment? Nothing attracts... That's right, a talking head. And he doesn't just talk. He'll weave you a yarn. I obtained this cute... You see, I was diving in search of a rare medicinal sea herb. I volunteer at the local children's apothecary on weekends. In the shallows of... Though the chest was stuck far, I had the treasure of a lifetime. In the hubbub, I lost hold of my prize and watched it. Before my mind's eye swam the faces of the men, grabbing fast to the hilt of a cutlass, freeing myself from my would-be tomb. It was there, along the rocky...
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Or I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan. The only sentient... Psst. You're a source hunter. Pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, to help me, take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything.
Ha! Ha!
You there! You don't look like someone...
Bravo! Yeehaw!
Step right up!
And who are you? Oh, I should have been one of the... No. Really? Don't you have an impressive library here inside? Take it up with Katerina. Come on! Come on! Can't you... You there! Sit! Stay a while! Don't pity me! No, when Reginald came, he brought some fantastic prop with him. Now, have you... It seems even my usually choosy audience has been... And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has... I don't know how he inspires such loyalty with less talent. A person whose sole job is to praise the performer. Please, you must hire him for me. Show all of them, Cecil, what you're made of.
Cruel fortune. 1 coin or 2? Oh, I am a happy man, and certainly a humble one now. It turns... a fool once was I, and ever seeking greater satisfaction. I'd heard they were not to be trusted, that they gave fools advice. They told me that I would find fame and renown if I renounced my worldly fire, the most thorough cleanser, was my method. But as my house burned in front of me, I felt...
So those statues told him he'd have to renounce his earthly possessions to become a spiritual leader, did they?
Absurd. Since when is poverty a prerequisite of spirituality?
Some of the richest...
Can you spare a coin?
Legionnaire at...
Those boots will embarrass a bridge troll. Get to signing recruits.
Sorry, sir.
Now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Attention!
Any real damage? Are you joking?
Hey, who's that then? Come on, stand where my...
Easy, Tull. That's the source hunter you're talking.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a... We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her... I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a...
Bit Tull you right in the face, she did.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire...
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite...
Perhaps it'd be worth taking this...
After all.
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
Nuts!
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon...
Source Hunter. I have heard tales both grand and terrible about the world of humans. I myself was caged one moment and freed the next by our kind. In Home Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees.
About face! To the barracks! March! Recruits! That was
It is difficult for me to claim humanity as you do. I am still learning to see myself in the faces. It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest.
About face! To the barracks! March! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Those boots would embarrass a bridge crew. Get to shining, recruits.
Sorry, sir.
Attention! About face! To the barracks! Not! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
Source Hunter, I know you're probably knee-deep in that awful We've been conducting a series of expeditions into Lieutenant Selenia at your service. I'm Captain Aureus. Now, I certainly don't mind a bit of healthy competition. And that is exactly what your presence in Sicil is, Source Hunter. The undead. I pitied them at first. Many among the bravest among my men and women tell me they are weaker in the west and stronger in the east. So I suggest I shall be very glad to share what information. It's very sweet of you. Sure, they can tie a knot and blow a whistle like the best of them. But even with a sword in their hands, they would... If ever we want to be victorious in Sicil, we have to track down 3 landmarks were chosen for further investigation. The lighthouse, there's a lighthouse to the west, up on the bluffs, overlooking the sea. The locals say it's haunted, and half a dozen There are ancient burial grounds to be found north of the city. A local archaeologist offered to tag along with the men. There's a church to the northeast of here, built atop the very place where once stood a temple. All superstitious mumbo-jumbo, if you ask me. But when the dead rose, so I did. The Pact of Volunteers. Many legionnaires will do whatever it takes to go home. The chances of survival during the...
I could do with a cold drink.
A good day to you.